So, Hare Krishna. We are continuing our beautiful readings of Srila Prabhupada's beautiful Krishna book. And we're on chapter 14, prayers offered by Lord Brahma to Lord Krishna. Lord Brahma had just been awakened to the superior mystic powers of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Krishna expanded himself in pure Vishnu forms into all the cowherd boys, the calves, and anyone else who was happened to be missing that day. So Krishna has the ability because he's in the heart of every living entity, therefore he knows exactly what they look like, atom for atom, molecule to molecule. And so if he wants to duplicate those molecules and create a body exactly like the one that disappeared, that's not really a big problem for him. It's a completely bewildering idea for us because we can't do that. I can't just make myself look like somebody else. Or if I should, I'd probably lose what I look like to become somebody else. But you can't really do that anyway, not with these material bodies. So that's the potency of Krishna, is that he recreated all the missing cowherd boys and cows and calves. And so Lord Brahma has an awakening as to his actual position, and he's offering some prayers to Krishna, hoping Krishna is not too disturbed by his mischievous activities. Prayers offered by Lord Brahma to Lord Krishna. Lord Brahma said, "My dear Lord, you are the only worshipable Supreme Lord, Personality of Godhead. Therefore, I am offering my humble obeisances and prayers just to please you. Your bodily features are of the color of clouds filled with water. You are glittering with a silver electric aura emanating from your yellow garments. Let me offer my respectful repeated obeisances unto the son of Maharaj Nanda, who is standing before me with a conch shell, earrings, peacock feather on his head. His face is beautiful. He is wearing a helmet garlanded by forest flowers, and he stands with a morsel of food in his hand. He is decorated with cane and bugle, and he carries a buffalo horn and flute. And he stands before me with small lotus feet." That is a nice prayer, Lord Brahma, doing very well. "My dear Lord, people may say that I am the master of all Vedic knowledge, and I am supposed to be the creator of the universe. But it has been proved now that I cannot understand your personality, even though you are present before me just like a child. You are playing with your boyfriends, the calves and the cows, which might imply that you do not even have sufficient education. You are appearing just like a village boy, carrying your food in your hand and searching for your calves. And yet there is so much difference between your body and mine that I cannot estimate the potency at all of your body. As I have already stated in Brahma Samhita, your body is not material. In the Brahma Samhita it is stated that the body of the Lord is all spiritual. There is no difference between the Lord's body and his self. Each limb of his body can perform the actions of all others. The Lord can see with his hands, he can hear with his eyes, he can accept offerings with his legs, and he can create with his mouth." Brahma continued, quote, "Your appearance as a cowherd child is for the benefit of the devotees. And although I have committed offenses at your lotus feet by stealing away your cows and boys and calves, I can understand that you have mercy upon me. That is your transcendental quality. You are very affectionate towards your devotees. In spite of your affection for me, I cannot estimate the potency of your bodily activities. It is to be understood that when I, Lord Brahma, the Supreme Personality of this universe, cannot estimate the child-like body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then what to speak of others? And if I cannot estimate the spiritual potency of your childlike body, then what can I understand about your transcendental pastimes? Therefore, as it is said in the Bhagavad Gita, anyone who can understand a little of the transcendental pastimes, appearance, and disappearance of the Lord becomes immediately eligible to enter into the kingdom of God after quitting this material body. So an interesting point, interesting thought here. As Lord Brahma, he did a mischievous thing. He stole the cowherd boys and the calves and the cows, and it was a bit of a mischief. And so he knows that Krishna is just naturally merciful, and because Brahma's offense was not severe, you see, Indra's offense was severe. Yeah, he tried to kill everybody. He tried to kill all the inhabitants of Vrindavan and all the cows and everything. So that's a whole different category of offense. So Lord Brahma did some mischief, and he knows that Krishna enjoys mischief because he can also display his superior mystic powers. And that's what he did in this case. So there's a big difference between the pastime of Lord Indra and the Govardhan Hill and the pastime of Lord Brahma stealing the cows, calves, and cowherd boys. Big time. So that's why Lord Brahma is not like really upset, you know. He knows that Krishna's merciful, and he's kind and he's sweet. This is something you have to understand, that God, Krishna is very, very, very sweet and kind. He doesn't hold grudges. He doesn't hold offenses. The only time he gets angry is when he sees offenses to his devotees. He sees people somehow misbehaving with his devotees, and he becomes very protective, like Prahlad Maharaj. But Lord Brahma, he knows that Krishna was actually enjoying this pastime. So, in a sense, Lord Brahma helped to create such a pastime. Therefore, as it is said in the Bhagavad Gita, anyone who can understand a little of the transcendental pastimes, appearance, and disappearance of the Lord becomes immediately eligible to enter the kingdom of God after quitting the material body. This statement is also confirmed in the Vedas, and it is stated simply, by understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can overcome the chain of repeated birth and death. I therefore recommend that people should not try to understand you by speculative knowledge. So, meaning understanding means that you accept the explanation, meaning that you accept the version of the Shastra, meaning you accept the statements and the words of Guru and the Parampara. You accept that. That's your understanding. You understand that I can't understand by speculative methods or any kind of method. I have to simply accept this descending knowledge as it's coming down from Krishna himself through the chain of disciplic succession. That's what it means to understand. So that's what it means to understand the appearance and disappearance of Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita and so on and so forth. You understand it through the explanations of the acharyas. The best process of understanding you is to submissively give up the speculative process and try to hear about you either from yourself, like Bhagavad Gita, as you have given statements in Bhagavad Gita and many other similar Vedic literatures, or from the realized devotee who has taken shelter at your lotus feet. One has to hear from a devotee without speculation. One does not even need to change his worldly position. He simply has to hear your message. and understand it and accept it according to the process of parampara. Although you are not understandable by the material senses, simply by hearing about you, one can gradually conquer the nescience of misunderstanding. Everything is a misunderstanding. Someone said this is the plane of misunderstanding. Who said that? Is that Sridhar Maharaj? So, this is the plane of misunderstanding. I can say something directly to you, and I have a complete understanding of what I'm trying to convey, and somehow or other, the misunderstanding can take place so easily that you understand it in a completely different way. That's the plane of misunderstanding, and it happens constantly every day in our interactions. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not so funny. Anyway. But it's nice. But to clarify it, you have to. Did you mean this? I mean, oh yeah, I meant that. And then you sure you? Do I understand it properly? Did I get it properly? Did I understand it? It's like it's amazing. The bewildering energy is just amazing. You try to say something as straightforwardly as possible. You become revealed to your devotees, so you are unconquerable by any other means. Speculative knowledge without any trace of devotional service is simply a useless waste of time in the search for you. Devotional service is so important that even a little attempt can raise one to the highest perfectional platform. One should not, therefore, neglect the auspicious process of devotional service and take to the speculative method. By the speculative method, one may gain partial knowledge of your cosmic manifestation, but it is not possible to understand you, the origin of everything. This is something Anthony wouldn't be bad for Anthony to read. The origin of everything. The attempt of persons who are interested only in speculative knowledge is simply wasted labor, like the empty husk of a rice paddy. A little quantity of paddy can be husked on a grinding wheel, and one can gain some grains of rice. But if the skin of the paddy is already beaten by the grinding wheel, there is no further gain to beating the husk. It is simply useless labor. So we don't have too much experience about grinding rice husks.
But it's like the beets.
Huh?
It's like the beets.
The beet juice.
The beet juice.
The beet juice?
Yeah, like the excess beet.
Oh yeah. So all you got left is this fiber, and you can't get anything more out of it.
Get more out of that.
There's just nothing else there. So you're trying to turn it into a chutney of some sort, but. My dear Lord, there are many instances in the history of human society where a person, after failing to achieve the transcendental platform, engaged himself in devotional service with his body, his mind, and words, and thus attained the highest perfectional stage of entering into your abode. The process of understanding you by speculation or mystic meditation are all useless without devotional service. One should therefore engage himself in your devotional service, even in his worldly activities, and one should always keep himself near you by the process of hearing and chanting your transcendental glories. Simply by being attached to hearing and chanting your glories, one can attain the highest perfectional stage and enter into your kingdom. If a person, therefore, always keeps in touch with you by hearing and chanting your glories and offers the results of his work for your satisfaction only, he very easily and happily attains entrance into your supreme abode. You are realizable by persons who have cleansed their hearts of all contamination. This cleansing of the heart is made possible by chanting and hearing the glories of your Lordship." Unquote. The Lord is Prabhupada. The Lord is all-pervading, as is stated by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. He says, Krishna says, everything is sustained by me, but at the same time, I am not in everything. Since the Lord is all-pervading, there is nothing existing without his knowledge. The all-pervasive nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead can never be within our limited knowledge of a living entity. Therefore, a person who has attained steadiness of the mind by fixing the mind on the lotus feet of the Lord is able to understand the Supreme Lord to some extent. It is the business of the mind to wander over various subject matter for sense gratification. And the mind is like a screen, you know, like it just thinks of things. And like this things come across the screen. And then I'm like, yeah, I'd like to do that. The soul is watching the screen and watching it. Yeah, oh yeah, I'm going to try that. The mind is coming up with all these things. You know? Oh, that's so serious. That's all it does, the material mind. But the mind can be subdued, and the mind can be happily also engaged in devotional service, and the mind then becomes your friend. It is the business of the mind to wander over various subject matter of sense gratification. Therefore, only a person who engages the senses always in the service of the Lord can control the mind and be fixed at the lotus feet of the Lord. This concentration of the mind upon the lotus feet of the Lord is called samadhi. Until one reaches the stage of samadhi or trance, he cannot understand the nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There may be some philosophers or scientists who can study the cosmic nature from atom to atom. They may be so advanced that they can count the atomic composition of the cosmic atmosphere, or all the planets and stars in the sky, or even the shiny molecular parts of the sun and other stars and luminaries in the sky. But it is not possible to count the qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I'm going to stop here. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I know these prayers are a pretty long chapter, so we'll go through it nice and carefully because there's a lot of nice things to be heard and chanted. Hare Krishna.